Hello, I'm Robert, and you're welcome here in my busy little shop. On today's episode of What's on My Workbench, today I'm working on a belt. This is the Blue Diamondback. I had a video not long ago on making a belt just like this one, and this is for a order on a belt that I had taken an order for on my artisan show. And when I was thinking about this and working on this belt, I was thinking about how when I first started making leather products, and most of the time they were belts, I would end up having challenges where I would, I'd get excited about it. So-and-so wants a black belt and the style is the Western. I'd go through the whole thing. I'd start making it, and then I'd realize I didn't have the width that they wanted, or, I forgot to ask them if the spots on there, if they wanted the turquoise ones, or maybe the antique nickel spot, whatever it was. So I created, with the help of my lovely wife, this order form. And it's amazing how something as simple as this can really simplify, the whole process. So I went through, and in kind of order of my conversation with a customer to find out what it is, it's the size of the belt, the width of the belt, the style of the belt. And by doing this, it really helped cut down on errors where I would get maybe 80% of the way through it and then realize I forgot to, input the spot on the front of the leather where it needed to be. And now I'm past that point and I have to set that belt aside. I guess I have another one for my display and start over. So I created this. Up to that point, though, with other projects like totes and such, I took an old journal and I would create an entry here of who it's for, what I'm making, the color, and it was handy to put things in there such as, if it had conchos, what was the style of the concho? If I had a part number, I would put it on there. So I would have everything from the width to the buckle and all of that on there. Now, this weekend I was working on a couple projects, and it's not a project that I make all the time. My belts, I feel like I could almost make these in my sleep and remember the steps and not get them out of order. But when I'm making say a knife sheath that I haven't made, I make maybe one or two a month, or sometimes I'll go 3 or 4 months, won't make one. The same with like totes. And I realized, and I've realized a few times, but I've always put off, making the change, that I really need something like my order card for my belts, for my totes. And it's really not, to remind me of the color of the tote and that type of thing. It's really more of what I would call like a recipe. Here's your ingredients. I know what the leather items are. These are the steps. And this weekend, and I've done it before. Matter of fact, I had a video about a year ago, maybe a little bit longer than that, of a tote that I was making. And I got down to a certain point and then I realized I got out of order on doing something. And the result of that was I had to cut that tote all back apart, take all the stitching out, do the missing step, and then hand sew it all back together. And I've always said I don't mind making anything, for somebody on a schedule, but when I have to remake it because I miss a step, that becomes frustrating. Well, this weekend I did exactly that, not once, but twice. And I'm like, enough of it. And it had been suggested before, and I'd thought of it, but I'm going to create a recipe card so it'll tell me what's there, what I need, like the size of the leather, but then each step, so that maybe I'll be a little more disciplined and I can go through there, because I got to step E and forgot step C, and I had to take it all apart. And in some ways, my schedule of time, because this project had a bunch of different parts on it, my schedule of what needs to happen first and second has changed some with the sewing machine, because there are certain areas I need to sew, say a tag on the outside of the bag. I could always hand sew that, do that kind of last. But now, if I'm going to do it with the sewing machine, well, it's kind of hard to get inside there. So Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you, kind of how I've been doing it. And then I keep these cards. And so if, Bill Smith calls up, he's like, remember that belt I got 2 years ago? I got them in alphabetical order. Yeah, I need one that's an inch bigger, but I want it in black this time. And I'm able to go pull that and be more professional instead of going, okay, what was the size again? And going through that whole chase. So that was one of the topics I wanted to cover. The other thing I want to talk a little bit about is when I first started doing YouTube videos, and I don't know, where I thought this would go, or I don't even know today where where it'll be a year from now. Who knows? But at the insistence of one of my children, I started a YouTube channel. He said he would help me with it. I think he helped with the first 2 videos, or maybe it was just the first one. But I'm not sure what I thought I would have, but I'd watch YouTube videos, and you see the comment section on there, and I was never one to make comments. I can tell you that comments are very helpful. So, sometimes it's encouragement comments, sometimes it's advice on maybe do this before you do that type of thing. And I will say, out of the comments, I think I've had one that I thought was a little bit maybe mean-spirited, but everything else has been helpful. And there's times I'll see one of my subscribers will interact with another one in the comments, maybe sticking up for me, and I appreciate that. Probably don't really have to, but I don't take the comments as negative. But where I'm going with all that is early on, probably a year and a half ago, or I guess it couldn't be quite a year and a half ago, but it was only months into having my channel, I had a person send me a couple of encouraging comments, and actually outside of the channel reached out with some advice and encouragement after my first live stream, which didn't go all that well. You can go back and see it, or maybe you want to not hurt yourself by going back and seeing that. But Ricky reached out to me and gave me some advice. And first he said, look, you do really good work with the leather work. The video producing part of it, it'll come. Don't beat yourself up too bad on that. So we developed this relationship, and then it's kind of weird. I've got some of these relationships with different people around the world. Jonas in Sweden. There's a bunch of people across the United States, and they're not all leather people. I have one, and I always like it, Old Leathersmith here, and I always enjoy to see what he's going to say in there, because he's always got some good words of advice. So where I'm going with that is that I developed a relationship with Rick and his wife Donetta, and I watched their videos, and I've made some belts to send to him. He's purchased some belts from me. I've sent a gift to him. He'll send a gift to me, and I received a box here in this package today. I think I have a pretty good idea of what's in here. He was celebrating a milestone on his channel, and I'm going to put in my title is going to be the Rick's Outdoors. It'd be really nice of you if you'd click on there, go over there, say hi. If you find it interesting, subscribe. But he creates, I call it kind of a niche video series. A lot of it's on producing firewood, but he also does landscaping and mows lawns. He's a hunter. Him and his wife produce almost all the videos together. And not long ago, they were celebrating something, and they had if you make a comment, then you might be able to win something. And I noticed that Knowles up in Canada, he got his name chose out of there, which I was excited for that. And then out of the blue, I get this package. So let's open it up and take a look here. So it's Rick's Outdoors. Rick or Ricky and his wife, Donetta. This is Rosie here. And I'm going to tell you, I think it's probably too late now to change the channel name, but it probably should be Rosie's Outdoor Channel. But you can see Rosie's an important part of the family. She ended up in his logo on his stickers, and he's got some shirts that way as well. But they sent me this cup, which was really sweet to do. They didn't need to do that. I'm trying to remember now if we're even or if I'm probably one behind. So I got to come up with something probably to send out there. Maybe I need to send something for Rosie because I've sent stuff for both him and his wife. Anyway, that was it. I just wanted to share that with you. I thought I knew probably what was in the package, and I was right. I appreciate you taking time today to watch my video. If you've got any comments or if you've got suggestions on a better way to keep track of procedures on a project, I'd be all ears on that. Once again, appreciate your time. Please like, share, and subscribe, but I hope that you and your family have a great day.